Middle Pillar, Science and the Sacred, The First Revelation. Written and narrated by Daniel M. Tangway. Copyright 2024, The Middle Pillar Society. All rights reserved. This audiobook is licensed for personal transformation and private listening only. Unauthorized reproduction, distribution, or public performance is strictly prohibited. The masks we wear.
Have you ever noticed how a quiet, reserved person can suddenly become the life of the party? Or how someone who seems confident and outspoken in one setting withdraws into silence in another, without active engagement in practices that bring us back into direct experience? Meditation, a quiet walk, music that moves something in the chest, or honest therapeutic work, the child's mind can feel like a distant myth. Not because it never existed, but because language and identity have been running the show for so long. We all carry faint traces of that pre-verbal self, moments of simple presence, unowned joy, open attention, but they vanish quickly under the weight of mental chatter. As we journey from wordless infancy into the world of thought, that original spaciousness is rarely revisited, and slowly, an insidious forgetting takes place. We put on masks to function in the world, and then we forget we're wearing them. The roles begin as tools for interaction and end as the only self we're allowed to remember. We shift, we adapt, we become. Not because we are false, but because we are many. Psychology teaches that people see and interact with the world through filters. These filters are not just perspectives. They are shaping forces that determine how we perceive reality itself. In spiritual terms, these filters affect the energy or state of being we reside in during each moment. Filters are masks. They don't just determine how we act. They influence how we experience the world. Someone in a state of fear sees a threatening world. Someone in a state of love sees connection everywhere. And here's the key. Most people don't realize they can change their filters. There are filters some have never discovered, special spiritual filters. Filters that allow you to see beyond the surface of reality. The key is knowing that we can choose different filters at will. Perhaps more importantly, we can also step beyond them entirely. That realization was waiting for me, and I had no idea it would arrive in a school auditorium.
The moment the illusion cracked.
I didn't know it then, but the moment Mrs. B called my name, twice, something irreversible had already begun. It was my 6th grade drama class, and we were putting on a production of The Hobbit. There were a lot of kids who wanted parts, especially the 3 most sought-after roles, Bilbo, Gollum, and Smaug. I didn't expect to land one of them. I knew plenty of kids who wanted those roles just as badly as I did. There was no reason for me to get both. Yet, when the casting was announced, Mrs. B skipped over dozens of other kids and cast me for Gollum and Smaug, the 2 best parts in my opinion. I remember standing there, script in hand, completely stunned. Why me? Why both? There was no logical reason for it. There were plenty of other students to fill those roles, but somehow I was meant to play both the fallen and the untouchable. At the time, I thought it was luck. But looking back, I see it. The universe had just done something. It had set something in motion, and it would take years before I understood what.
A play that wasn't just a play.
At first, I thought it was just acting, memorizing lines, practicing voices, finding the posture, energy, and essence of these 2 beings who had nothing in common, except that they were now both me. But the deeper I got into the roles, the more strange things started. I wasn't just playing them, I was becoming them. When I was Gollum, I felt his hunger, his twisted, aching need for something out of reach. I felt the weight of his shame, the war between 2 selves fighting for control. And when I was Smaug, untouchable, all-powerful, towering above the world with fire in my chest and no one above me. And yet, both of them lived inside me, waiting for the moment I would call them forward. And that's when it hit me. If I could slip in and out of these roles so easily, then who was I when I wasn't acting? Who was Daniel? Was he just another role, another mask I had been assigned? I remember standing there backstage, mask in hand, my heart pounding. I was staring into the void of something huge, something I didn't have the words for yet. But I felt it. I wasn't just one person, I was many. And if that was true, then who or what was beneath it all?
Knowing others is wisdom. Knowing yourself is enlightenment. Quote by Lao Tzu.
Becoming the mask.
I did not wear a mask. I became the mask. My face was covered in latex for my role as Gollum, and the makeup job was so stellar that it transformed me completely. I slithered across the stage in green tights, my body hunched, my voice twisted into something wretched and tormented. Then, as soon as my scene ended, I had to crawl out of sight. My body shifted, and my energy changed. I slipped into a massive dragon costume, where I was the front legs, and another kid, Kevin, controlled the back. The transformation wasn't just internal, it was physical. One moment, I was a pitiful, crawling wretch. The next, I was a towering beast of power and greed, my deep, booming voice shaking the auditorium. At the end of the play, something happened that no other actor had experienced. The auditorium, filled with parents, rose to their feet. I got a standing ovation. For a few seconds, the room didn't feel like a room. The applause became a kind of weather. I could feel how easily the mind assigns meaning, how quickly it crowns a mask and calls it me. And behind that rush of approval, something colder and clearer appeared. If they could stand for a role, then the role wasn't the one standing. And at that moment, standing on that stage, the realization slammed into me. Who was performing when I wasn't acting? If I could embody these roles completely, who would be the me that existed outside them? Was Daniel just another role I had been given?
Language as a dimensional trap.
Looking back, I realized something even more profound was happening. It wasn't just about roles or masks, it was about language itself. The moment we learn words, we step into a new dimension. Before language, we exist in pure experience, raw, unfiltered, boundless. But once we cross into the world of words, something shifts. Language doesn't just describe reality, it reshapes it. Names don't just label us, they trap us. My name, the one I had answered to my entire life, wasn't just a sound, it was a locked door. The world placed a set of definitions on me, a construct that told me this is who you are, this is your role, do not step outside it. Say your name in your mind 3 times. Notice what appears: an image, a posture, a history, a set of permissions and limits. Now imagine waking up with no name at all, no story attached. The mind panics because the cage is also the map. And it wasn't only my first name. The last name did something quieter, but even more powerful. It didn't just tell me who I was, it told me who I belonged to. A surname is a kind of invisible flag, a lineage marker, a tribal tag. It can carry pride and history, and it can also build walls without anyone meaning to. Before we know it, we're not just a person anymore. We're a branch of a tree, a member of a camp, a name that comes with assumptions. And the strangest part is that it all feels natural, because everyone agrees to play the game. And yet, standing there with a mask in my hands, I realized I had stepped outside it. For the first time, I saw what had always been hidden. I was not my name, I was not my history, I was not even my thoughts. I was something before all of that, something deeper, older than language itself. And once I had glimpsed it, there was no going back.
The journey isn't about becoming a different person, but loving who you are right now. Quote by Suzanne Hine.
Final reflection.
You have spent your life collecting masks. Some have served you well, some have weighed you down, but now you hold the power to choose. So ask yourself, which masks do I still cling to? Which ones am I ready to set down? And if I let them all go, who am I? Step forward. The universe is waiting to see your true face. For 10 seconds, stop referring to yourself internally by name. No label, no role, just raw noticing. Then watch how quickly the mind tries to rebuild the mask. That rebuilding impulse is the mechanism.
To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson.